I find children are the best readers in the world. They are so passionate. If they like reading at all, they absolutely love it. And they go right into a book, they sink themselves into the story, and they become completely engaged and engrossed. And that's something that we lose as we get older. And adults, no matter how much they enjoy books, no matter how much they say, oh, I couldn't put it down, it's never quite the same experience that it is when you're 11 years old and you are completely and utterly engrossed. My name is Siobhán Parkinson. I've written around about 20 books. Depends on what way you count them. One for adults and another one coming out soon for adults. And I've written for young children and I've written for teenagers. But I suppose most of my books, and the place where I feel most at home, I suppose, as a writer, would be in the 10 to 12 age group. I always wanted to write, and I never quite knew what I did want to write. And I kind of, like most developing writers, I kind of poked around at lots of things. I had a child myself, and my first attempts would have been to write things for him, although that wasn't really my motivation. It just happened that he was there. He was like a catalyst. And when I then kind of took off with writing for children, I was writing, in fact, for children older than he was at the time. So I just sort of fell into writing for children, but once I started to do it, I really found I enjoyed it so much. It was just great. First books I published were two little books that came out together as kind of companion books, and they were called The Dublin Adventure and The Country Adventure. And they were about, one of them was about a Dublin girl going to the country for the first time and the strange experience. And then the other one was the opposite, it was about the country cousins coming to Dublin. And they were just funny little books. And then they came out again later. They were kind of revamped and came out later and will be probably more available under their new titles, which are Cows Are Vegetarians and Animals Don't Have Ghosts. The longest time it took me to write a book was 12 years, and the shortest time was 11 days. So, you know, take your average out of that. I write at home in my own house. I used to write anywhere and everywhere because I used to take my laptop with me everywhere I went. But I now find it more difficult to work on a laptop because of my eyesight problems. So now I have a study, which is formerly a bedroom and it's now where I write. It's all set up there with my nice big screen and I have things the way I like it, and that's where I work. At the moment I'm writing a book in Irish and I'm about a quarter of the way through it, working away on that. And that's again for, I would say, children in about 6th class. And I'm also working on a teenage novel, which I'm almost finished. I'm just at the stage now where I'm just doing a little bit of revision and talking to the editor about it. Well, the first thing the Laureate has to do is listen. So the first thing I'm going to do is talk to lots of people, all kinds of interest groups, people who are involved in the world of children's books, and see what they have to say and see how best I can serve their needs. I have general ideas about what I'd like to do and what I'd like to say, but I want to get some guidance from people on what they specifically would find useful. I meet children anyway quite a lot in my daily work as a writer. I go to schools quite a bit, I do residencies, I do workshops, I do chats, question and answer sessions with children. And as Laureate, I expect that will continue and will be maybe more focused. My wish as a Laureate would be that every child in the country would have access to a nice, bright, warm, cheerful, comfortable library where they could go and find the books that are going to open their minds and bring them off into wonderful imaginary places. That sense of excitement and that sense of joy about books, I want every child to have that, and not all children do get that.